Hi! It's been so much time since my last video with voice, so I apologize for this, but I've been so busy this month and I didn't have enough time to record my voice. Today I'm gonna make a tier list. It's been a long time since I don't make one, so this time I had this idea, finally. Everything will be commented with my voice. Wow! And starting from now, I apologize also for every mistake I made while speaking. Hope you can understand my efforts and my dedication to this. Let's start! Okay, let's start with Shelly, the first brother. I think she's at an D tier or E tier because, well, yes, no one is using her unless in solo showdown. So I think she shouldn't be up in the tier. Okay, next up we have Nida, which is a C tier because her hypercharge is too strong, I think. And in general, she's used much more now than before. Then Colt, yeah, C tier, not much. As well as Bull, because he's a good tank, also in 3 vs 3 and solo showdown, but not too much because he's so weak without the super. Okay, Brock, for his recently has been buffed, so I think he deserves the A tier or the B tier. Well, I think he's the A tier now, but maybe I can change it later, so we'll think about him. Next up we have El Primo, so the same thing for Bull. And Barley right now is the best thrower, so I think it could be the S tier, but maybe the A tier is the best because, okay, he's the best thrower, but the thrower isn't the best class in World Stars, so let's take him the A tier. For Poco is the D tier. Okay, his hypercharge is so strong, but he's a support brawler and the worst supports, I think, because other like Byron or Barry are better, so D is the correct tier for him. Rosa is the worst tank brawler right now because Ash does buffed, so I think she can be the E tier, not the F, because she's using solo showdown, so E is the best. For Jessie, she is a B tier, not lower but not higher, because okay, she's so strong in Hearthstone, in Heist, but not too much in the other modes, so B is the best. For Dynamite, I think D or C, because he's only viable in some situation, the others nope. So I'm sorry for Dynamains, but the D is his tier for now, as well as Tick. And 8-bit rises a bit from D for the C because of his hypercharge, but I haven't seen so much. Also in the World Finals, he used a bit, just like once or twice. I didn't remember, but yeah, of course, not higher in the tier because 8-bit isn't the best brawler for competitive. And now it's time for Rico. Rico is the best anti-tank and the best sharpshooter, I think, so A is the tier that he deserves so far. And Daryl, I can put him finally in the S tier. He is the best tank brawler right now, who's in 3 vs 3, solo showdown, duo showdown, like every mode. His hyper is so strong, so he deserves the S tier for now. As well, Penny has been buffed recently for the range, and her hyper is so broken, so A tier is okay. For Carl, I think Carl can be put in the D tier, but not higher because Carl hasn't the hypercharge yet. Maybe in the next update we can get the Carl hyper, and maybe he's broken, so we can help him to rise a bit in the meta. And for Jackie, I'm gonna put her in the E tier because okay, he isn't F tier because of the hyper, but for the rest he deserves the E tier, not more. And Gus, oh wow, Gus is the best support brawler right now. He has been used a lot of in the World Finals and also in every passive modes unless solo showdown is used. So I think the Gus is the best brawler, and we expect for him a lot of good place for gas main, and also we expect from him the hyper. We're gonna be so strong, I think. Next up, there is Bo. For Bo, we have the D-tier because he hasn't got the hyper yet, and this make him pretty useless in 19% of situation in this game. As well as Ems, and don't think she's good right now because everyone at high trophies know how to counter her attacks. As well as first two that I can put him the A tier, not in the S because he isn't broken, but his hyper is like his old Mortician during Godzilla, so yes, he is the best brawler as assassin. Also be able in 3 vs 3 brawl ball, and when you need to go faster in a game, you can pick him without any problem. Then we have Piper. Okay, why? I see Piper a lot in ladder matches because everyone loves using Piper because he's the best shooter. I can make. You can see also on social media a lot of montage of her, but I think Piper isn't so good right now because they're best sharpshooters. So Piper is gonna be the B tier, not more. Pam, I think Pam is gonna be the E tier, not more, because who else using Pam in this year? And also Frank, we all remember that this summer used to be an S tier, then an A tier, and he still remains in the top tier because right now he get in the B tier. As well as for BB because tank brawlers are ransom meta right now. And for Bea, I think Bea can go in C tier because he hasn't got the hyper yet, so I'm gonna put the brawler that should have the hyper but not have the hyper yet down in the tiers because Supercell needs to watch this video and know that they should give the hyper to all this brawler like B, Bo, Carl, etc. For Nani, I have seen a lot of an increasement of Nani use rate, so I think Nani should be the A tier. And guys, we don't know Edgar, E tier, no words. Let's continue with Griff. Griff isn't used anymore in a pretty old situation. I haven't seen it since months, so I think the D tier is the correct tier for him, and as well as Grom because no one uses him anymore, and as well as Bonnie. Okay, for Gale, used to be the S tier when his hyper was broken. Now I think that much brawler can counter him hyper, unless if they're a tank, of course. So he fell down from the S to the 8, but still a very good brawler. For Colette, I think Colette can be in the B tier or C tier. I don't know honestly because Colette isn't used a lot in the meta and generally ladder. But in ranked, she's so useful as last pick because whenever there is a tank, Colette can destroy him. So I think the C tier is a way to go not in the F and not in the S, in the mid. And same for Belle, I think, because her hyper is so strong, but she isn't is the best shooter right now. Okay, finally Ash fell right up from F to D tier because his buff to the rage make him so strong, and of course now can be used also against his counters like Edgar and anti-tanks like Gale because his rage can help him to go faster and deal more damage. Lola, I don't know anything about her. I only know that she doesn't test the hypercharger yet, so C tier. Now I think Sam is the first F tier because no hyper and no use rage out of the solo showdown, so I think no one uses him in high ladder or high ranked, so Sam should definitely go get a buff or at least the hypercharge. Next up we have Mandy. Mandy is so strong right now because her shot has been buffed, then nerfed, then buffed again, correct the bug. They did a lot of work on Mandy, but she still remains strong. So B tier is okay, near to Piper. Maisie fell down a bit because since her nerf to the supercharge rate, it isn't anymore an A tier, but she is still be able in some situations, so C tier is the best. And for now, Hank, poor Hank remains in the F tier because Supercell don't wanna buff him, please. Supercell, hear me, buff Hank, please. We don't want to see he anymore. Then we have Pearl. Pearl should be buffed, I think, because no one uses her anymore. He used to be a lot stronger than now when she got released, and so now she fell from the higher ranks to the lower because people know how to counter her, and so she can be in the heater, not more. And now we talk about these two brothers, Larry and Lori. Larry and Lori, I played them last week, and I must say I lost a lot of trophies and all the ranked points I farmed. Because with air radius, their radius is so short, then Lori isn't so good as it used to be, and in general they are the worst thrower in the game. So I think they should be the F tier because okay, they were broken, so Supercell nerfed him 7 times, but I think no one uses them anymore, and honestly, poor brothers, they should be at least in the mid of the meta, but right now they don't deserve to be here. It's time to Angelo. Angelo, we all know that he's broken and still remains broken, so I think the top of the A, the best, one of the best shooters, also the best sniper, so he can see here in the A. As well as Barry, that is the best balanced brawler so far, I think, despite his little nerf on the supercharge rate from healing. Damage is the same as when released, the HP and the healing per second. By the way, this is one of the best brawlers in the game for healing, and maybe the best support. We all remember how it was broken with SpongeBob events, so he didn't fall after the end of the event, so maybe he can stay in the B. As for Mortis, Hyper helped him to go from the F tier to the E tier, but he stopped his rise here because no one uses Mortis, who has a lot of brain cells. As for Tara, I think Tara is a mid because her Hyper isn't as strong as we expected, but in some situations she can make the difference. So the mid C is the best for her. As well as for Jean, that is a support for the longest range like Gas or Angular, but he can go up because his Hyper isn't so strong. Also sometimes it can be the anti-class, so it can make you lose sometimes, so gotta watch out for the Hyper. So let's put in the C tier. For Max, I think Max is a very balanced brawler right now. She deals mid damage, he has mid HP, and most of the time he used it to avoid the shots because of his speed, so she can stay in the B tier. As well as Mr. P, because since the buff of his porters, he had received a lot of advantage from the super that before were destroyed instantly. So yeah, GG for Supercell to have buffed him. Now let's continue with Sprout, that he is one of the stronger throwers in the game because of the Hyper that can deal like 20% of the damage of the high stave, and in Bounty is a very solid pick if you don't have assassins against you, of course. So B tier is the best. I don't know honestly because I don't play a lot of Sprout. And Byron, since his last buff to the super charge rate can be in the S tier, I think. the best support game for the longest range, because Barry is useful more to heal the tanks, but Byron is the best pick for healing brawlers like Brock or Angelo, and used to be in the passive modes like Knockout, Bounty, and so on. Let's continue with Squeak. This brawler isn't used a lot in Ranked and in Ladder because he is so weak in this period, and maybe because his hyper didn't get him the power to rise up in the meta. So I think he's an E tier right now, because we expect him some buffs, or at least nerfs to his counter. I don't know how to make him stronger, but not broken, so let's put him in the E tier. Then we have Lou, that he's a good controller brawler, but not too strong to stay in the top tier, so I think the C tier is the best for him. As well as for Raps, that finally rushed from the F and the E, and now he's the C tier because of this hyper that made him so strong. And his hyper will be stronger when all brawlers will get the hyper, so he can be the support hyper for excellence. And then we have Buzz, that fall a bit from the best tiers like 1 year ago to the mid tier like D, because now a much brawler can counter him because of their gadget. The hypercharge can counter his super, so he can stay in the D tier. As well as Fang, because no one is using him anymore since he's recently nerfs. And Supercell keep nerfing him because he was so broken, and still remains it in some situation, of course. And as well for Heave, Snake Tag puts him here in the super in the F tier, and I can confirm his choice and put directly this brawler in the F tier, because right now no one is using her. Because since the release of Angelo, the best brawler can go in the water is Angelo and not her. So she lost the primate of stay in the water, or the first brawler to stay in the water. His super is useless as a second gadget, so we expect from her for Supercell her rework or her buff at least. And now my love brawler Janet, I wish her to see here one day, but Supercell nope, not wanna buff her or rework her, because her star power are so weak, her gadget are strong but not useful anymore, because not everyone now can destroy her turret and avoid her gadget, which make her to jump, and her super don't last a lot. It doesn't deal so much damage for her class, that is a sharpshooter, is the worst sharpshooter in the game. And since Otis buff, that is the following brawler, had become the less used brawler in the game. So now no one is using her anymore, and we can proclaim her the worst brawler in the game. Yeah, and that's also my main. So yeah. Let's continue with Otis, that he rises from the F tier to the C tier, because his hyper made him stronger, because now he's a controller brawler that can stun, that can mute enemies. So he definitely rises a lot in the meta. We're gonna see his hyper used in the next monthly qualifier in 2025, because in the last World Finals his hyper was banned, but in the next championship match we're gonna see his hyper working. Buster is the best tank for 3 vs 3 modes, passive, because in knockout we can use the shield to block the sniper projectiles. But unless in that situation no one is using him anymore, I don't know why, because he's a very viable brawler in some situations. But let's put in the D tier and not Tiger. As well as Grey, that used to be broken when released, but now he's gonna fall down in the meta significantly, because no one wants to use him anymore, as like a lot of brawlers, you know. And the same for RT, because okay, he got his first gadget got reworked finally, but he still remains a lot of weak in some situations. So let's put him in the C tier, because I saw him used in a lot of 2024 World Finals, but I don't have other words for this brawler. Willow isn't getting the hyper, so I don't know what's gonna be his hyper. I'm so curious about his hyper, what's gonna be. So I'm not gonna try to guess which hyper is gonna be, but now I'm gonna put her in the E tier, because it's the worst thrower right now. She doesn't deal so damage, and her super is so easy to avoid. As well as that recently no one is proclaimed the worst brawler in the game, but we all know that he's the poor Janet, the brawler, because someone is using him in some 3 versus 3, and of course in Solo Showdown is the best brawler. So because he can respawn against tanks, can fight well, because he does a lot of damage from near. So I think the E tier is the best for him. As well as Chuck, because despite the haste and the hostile mode, no, it isn't viable at all. And Charlie, if you don't consider the bug in the Soul Collector mode that is making her broken, as well as her gadget with the angelic mutation. So despite this bug that's gonna be patched, I think we can expect this bug patch. So the E tier is the best for her, because she got nerfed a lot, because he was so broken. So it still remains a lot of weak right now. Okay, for Miko, I think the D tier, because Miko is gonna be a great assassin in some situation. His second star power makes him viable in Ice, but for the rest, against tanks and sharpshooters can be useless. So the D tier is the maximum for his. I don't wanna make her in the F tier, because you all know how I hate this brawler. I'm gonna make her also a great brawler, so I don't see me put her in the S tier or the A tier, despite she is so strong, in Ice. So I can put her in C tier, and I don't tell you the name of the brawler, I don't wanna tell it, because it's a bad word for me. Every time I see it or I hear from someone. So let's put her in the C tier. I don't talk about her anymore. Jokes aside, next we have Lily. Lily is OP with the first gadget. In Solo Showdown is dominating the whole mode. So if this was a tier for Solo Showdown, she would be the S tier directly. But her weaknesses in C versus 3 made him to fell down a bit from S to B, because in some C versus C is so useless, but in some other he can make the difference with the gadget, of course. Clancy used to be in the S tier, because he's super and is much damage, but now he has been nerfed a lot, not too much, so he fell down from the S to the A, but still remains a good brawler, guys. So pick him in every 3 versus 3 and you can win, especially when you can feed your levels instantly and then dominate the match. Spike is a good anti-tank, so I think the B tier is right for him. His hyper is so strong, and he's very versatile in all the modes, so I can put him the B. As well as Crow, that in every mode he hyper helps him to win all the matches, like in Ice, in Roll Ball, and of course also in Hot Zone, that can make him zoning the ring. We have a problem with Leon, because I have seen from pro players that Leon is gonna be an F tier this month, but honestly I don't think Leon is an F, because everyone is using it in Solo Showdown like all people used to do. So I think no F, but I think he is the best for him, because Yeah, in a competitive is useless, but in solo showdown is strong, so it can be the F. Sandy is the best controller brawler, I think. His super can spot enemies in the bushes. His super can also heal with a second stun power to his allies. His hyper make allies faster and of course invisible. So definitely the B tier is the best for him. For the last brawler we have Amber, that she doesn't have the hyper yet, so she can be in the high in the highest ranks but the lower. So D is the best for her. As well as Meg, that she continually be broken despite his her nerf. So the best tier is the C for her, but the top C because she dominates this tier because she's so strong in some situations. And as for Surge, I wanna put him the A tier because in the best situation you can choose him. Also ranked. You can make the difference, you can wipe the enemy team, and also in solo showdown is the best. He can counter Shelly, he can counter tanks, he can counter a lot of brawlers except from longer range. So definitely A tier is the best for him. For Chester, I'm sorry for Chester main like Blue and our other friends, but I can put him the highest tier, but of course he rises a lot from the F to the C, so the best tier for him is the C, but I can put him directly under Meg for the second brawler of the C, because I saw him used in 3 vs 3 competitive modes and he was stronger more than before. I can say. For Cordelius, I think Cordelius is the best legendary brawler for solo showdown, but not certainly the best for 3 vs 3 modes. So I think a medium wave is the best for him, like mid of C. For Kit, we all know Juan Carlos. We all know the old people that uses him a lot, tons times a day in the solo showdown, because he's classified as a support, but we don't know why. He's an assassin. He can make invisible. He can jump towards enemy. So like this brawler isn't really a support, but yet an assassin, I think. So the C tier is just okay for him. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much word on the brawlers because we like this brawler. For Draco, I'm so sorry that he received a beautiful skin. Also, it's one of my 3 mains, but he's the F tier, right, like near Janet, so they can stay together. Because his super is strong, but his normal form isn't. Like you can hear from if you get pushed by some tanks, you only hear 1400 damage. That is nothing compared to other tanks. His trait helps him, but not much. So I think a rework of his attack and his tank trait is deserved for him. Mo dropped from the S tier to the A tier because he got buffed, he got nerfed, and I think that he deserved his nerf so far. I tried him after the nerf and I saw him, he wasn't broken anymore, so I think the A tier is the best, one of the best brawlers for 3 vs 3 modes, And Kenji, after his nerf to his star power that made him not broken but OP in a way, like 90% of damage reduction, it was too much, I think. But still remains good in a lot of situations because he can make the difference with the super, and he continuously keeps healing, so he can die. So the B tier is the best. And finally we have Juju, that since it's a new brawler and we all know new brawler is equal to broken, I can put her in the S tier, and we don't know why. You know why, because he's a new brawler, so that means he's broken. Hopefully to see her nerf soon. Okay, I finally completed my tier list. Hope you like it. I don't need to change anything. I think it's okay. I didn't put Shade because Shade isn't in the game right now at the moment, but next month I will make another tier list including him. I think he's broken, but it's my point of view. We don't know if we're broken or not, and see you guys in the next video.